It's time to find out what shows are new to available and to stream this weekend.
That's right.
We're having a good time. On our list this week, we have a documentary that chronicles the recent fall of Hollywood power producer Harvey Weinstein. Then we have a drama based on legendary rap group Wu-Tang Clan. And there's also a miniseries following a spy who goes undercover.
Yeah, we just got real serious on you. Here to walk us through all of this is Krutika Mallikarjuna. She's a senior editor at TV Guide.
What's up?
Really good. So we were sort of chit-chatting a little bit in the break about Untouchable, because, you know, we've covered this Weinstein thing a lot since the very beginning, but there's, as usual, there's always so much that we can't tell, we can't say in the news, we don't have the time for, and now we've got this doc.
Yeah.
So tell us, give us a little bit of insight. Let's take a little look at a clip, and then we'll talk.
Here was I meeting one of the most powerful men in Hollywood.
I was going to have dinner with him at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
He said, "Can we have a drink upstairs at yours?"
So obviously this is the part that's very hard to talk about.
Harvey Weinstein was known to be a bully.
He thought of himself as the sheriff in town.
He scared people in the same way a gangster would.
Things got very uncomfortable very fast.
He no longer seemed to want to talk about work.
I said, "No, I don't do that."
And he goes, "You're making a very big mistake."
Wow.
Yeah, this is a really, really powerful one, and it's I'm not gonna lie, it's a hard watch, especially if, like us, you've been following the case from the very beginning. But I think the really powerful thing about this doc is that you get to see these women speak their own words for the first time, and it's, you know, you can see their visceral discomfort on camera and how much effort it's taking for them to be here, even years after some of these people have talked to reporters and the story's gone big, and now Harvey Weinstein is finally facing up to consequences. Even with all that, like, it's an uphill battle for each one of these women. And I don't know, the doc really does a good job of showing you how pervasive Harvey Weinstein's abuse was. It wasn't just towards these beautiful, attractive actresses that he was taking advantage of. It was also towards his employees, to his coworkers, like even to, like, you know, reporters. There's a bunch of great reporters in this documentary who take you also behind the scenes of their investigation, and like you hear a little bit about the women who aren't on camera for the documentary and their stories through these reporters, and you just get a sort of total picture of how prevalent and how well known all of these, you know, allegations were about Harvey Weinstein. And when it all came to light, all of these people were going, yeah, dude, it's been decades, we knew.
That is sort of where I've always been, and I've spoken to Jodi Kantor, I've spoken to Ronan Farrow about their reporting, which is this secret, in quotes. It's not a secret. Everybody knows. And I'm hoping that the documentary will shed some light on that tipping point, where all of a sudden people decide, you know what? F this. This is a secret. We're going to make sure that everybody knows about it, and people are going to have a different attitude about how we think of these individuals and how we treat them, and the power structure that enables them to continue to thrive.
I will say the documentary does a really good job of contextualizing Harvey Weinstein, not just in terms of Me Too, but by making it clear that, like, we have a catchy name for it now, and there is a movement, there's a groundswell of women speaking out about this problem. But it's existed forever, well beyond, or before Harvey Weinstein, and will exist well beyond Harvey Weinstein. And the documentary really ends on a note that challenges viewers, like, are you going to be the person who decides to think about this and make this stick going forward? And it's really powerful that way.
All right, so we're going to lighten it up a little bit, right?
Now
we got the origin story of legendary rap group Wu-Tang Clan. I can't think of anybody who doesn't like Wu-Tang. It transcends age groups and race and even the type of music that you generally listen to. You know about Wu-Tang. So let's play a little bit of this.
A pawn behaves like a pawn because it believes it's a pawn.
I'm sick of this.
What?
This life.
A king rules because he commands power.
This is our home. For God's sake, you got to stop.
I'm gonna make something of myself. When y'all gonna start making more music together? Let's get that cream, son. Yeah, wherever I go, you coming with me. Together, be stronger that way.
you know, I love origin stories, whether they are real life origin stories of musicians, politicians, rappers, or superhero origin stories. This looks great.
You know what? It is great. I've only seen 4 out of the 10 episodes, but what I love about Wu-Tang American Saga is that they're not taking like a jukebox biopic approach to it, where it's like a very quick rags to riches story, because they've given them so much time. It's really about who these people were growing up in like the midst of the drug epidemic in Staten Island in the 90s in New York City, and the, you know, environment they came from and the lives that they were living. And you feel for each of these characters as teenagers, as young adults, like outside of who they grew up to be, outside of the fame that they have, outside of the personas that we know them as. And like, I found myself at the end of episode 4, like looking at these teens and being like, oh, D-Love, you deserve to thrive. Even though I know he's gonna grow up and be Ghostface Killer. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just, you feel for these people as characters, not just as celebrities that you happen to grow up loving. And I think it's just a really beautiful narrative of how, you know, these people came together and decided, I am worth way more than other people are telling me, and I'm gonna really go for it. And just watching them come together to do that is profound.
I love that Method Man's involved in it, because then you get a little level of honesty that you might not if somebody else was telling the story.
Exactly.
People got to, you know, tell their own truth, their own story, which is really great. Lastly, we have The Spy. It's about an Israeli Mossad agent. Let's play it.
This is not a game, Camille. You are either him or you are dead.
Nadia, I'm worried about you. When's the last time you saw Ellie? 11 months ago. Don't leave us.
I don't want to go back.
You are saving lives, Ellie. Remember that.
When I first became Kamal, it was just an act.
You mumble in your sleep. You sometimes shout out names.
Those nightmares that she was talking about, they're not even mine, they're Kamal's.
Let's have an open, honest conversation on what my husband does.
Taking off the clothes, he doesn't work anymore. I can't put him away.
Kamal isn't real. That life isn't real.
Okay, so this is not Borat.
No.
No, definitely not. This is Sacha Baron Cohen in a very surprising, dramatic turn. I honestly, like, I watched the first couple screeners, and if I hadn't known that he was in the show, I wouldn't have recognized him, because his attitude and his atmosphere is so different. But this is a show that's basically, that's loosely based on a true spy story of Eli Cohen, who eventually was executed for, you know, being caught out as a undercover agent. And it's interesting because it's loosely based, so there is a lot of like dramatization for TV. You get a lot of action adventure that probably wasn't necessarily true to historical life, but it's a really tense thriller. Like, you know, he trains really early, and most of the show is spent with him undercover, and he's like, there's a time jump in every episode, and you can see him taking more and more risks, getting more and more, putting himself in more and more danger, because he's, you know, getting arrogant. He's like, no one suspects me. I'm perfect at this role. And like, he's just, you can see the inevitability of him getting caught. And as the series sort of winds to that point, it's, I don't know, if you're a true crime or thriller fan, this is really gonna catch your interest.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, you gave us like 3 meaty ones
really good
this
stuff
weekend.
this weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Krutika, thank you.
Thank you.